The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. George Orwell, 1984. Now, like many of you, you've probably heard that quote hundreds if not thousands of times these last few years. As we've all discovered how the system truly works of the United States, Israel, the West, so on and so on. But that doesn't take away the significance and importance of it, especially in a video like this. If you don't know what that quote means, or why I said it, you probably don't know the monster that I'm going to talk about, Lindsey Graham. He recently passed away, and you've probably seen a friend or two mock his death online, saying things like, "Rest in peace, he's looking up at us right now," so on and so on. Now, to someone who doesn't know the history and context of Lindsey Graham, it is completely natural to see someone make a post about someone you don't know and say such mocking things about his death. Because in the whole world, in most cultures, if not all cultures, death is held to such a great importance. It is the final stage of life, something that we must all deal with. In many cultures, such as Mexican culture, Dia de los Muertos, it is a celebration of life. They're passing on to the afterlife, into basically a never-ending party, as we Mexicans like to do. Norse mythology, they go on to Valhalla, so on and so on. It carries such an emotional significance because it's when you see loved ones for the last time and you never see them again in this living world. It carries such a heavy consequence, and we still don't know much about death or if there is an afterlife. So many people don't joke about it. Yeah, they don't joke about it, especially when it comes to loved ones. And so, seeing someone mock the death of someone you don't know, like Lindsey Graham, you probably will react negatively to it and see that person that is mocking him in a negative light. But to those that did do that, I implore you to, in future cases, not give in to instinct and ask my favorite question and the most important weapon of truth. Why? I love it. Why? Such a great question. It is what got me politically educated and started my journey. Yes. Why? Lindsey Graham. A little bit about him. I have listed 2 videos that go on about his history and legacy, as this video is not going to focus on that. It's just going to be how he is viewed, and also how the world has treated him and his legacy. But yeah, a short Lindsey Graham was a self-hating gay man warmonger who's pro-Israel and advocated and caused the suffering and deaths of countless of people. A couple of things that he said, just for the sake of context. We were right in nuking Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and we should do the same to Gaza. In his own words, flatten it. We should obliterate Iran. He didn't care about the grieving mother of an officer during January 6th. That officer died, by the way. And when a fellow officer tried to show the body cam footage to him, he simply turned away and looked at his phone, not caring. He bragged about running out of bombs, we're killing all the right people, and lowering your taxes, which is a lie. Taxes did not go down. He voted against marriage equality. Funny, because he is a gay man, like a lot of Republicans are. Just come out, bro. Just come out. We know, bro. He voted against non-discrimination acts, like I said, warmonger, and he doesn't take lives and war and genocide seriously, like when he sings bomb, 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 Iran. Such a detestable human being. I am barely scratching the surface of the horrors this man has committed. And now that you see this, you'll probably say, oh, that makes sense why people would mock his death, especially minorities in the LGBTQ community that were constant targets of his. But well, like as I was saying, any reasonable person would think, well, then he should be covered as a bad person. People should state the truth and say that he was not a righteous man, he was a bad politician, and he only caused hate and harm. But that is not the case, actually. Legacy media, mainstream media such as Fox and CNN, is whitewashing him right now. They are saying things like he was a charming, great man that stood for his values, a great politician that dedicated his life to politics and making the world a better place. Even Kamala Harris, she said that he was a charming man, and glazed him in Twitter interviews and so on, which is crazy. And again, we must ask the question, why? A great comparison case is a death that happened last year, Charlie Kirk. I doubt you guys don't know who Charlie Kirk was, but to those few that don't know, I've linked videos below, or you could just search it up online. He was a terrible person as well, advocated for the same stuff Lindsey Graham did, such as trying to normalize the point that black people commit the most crimes. He advocated for rape victims being forcibly made to give birth to their rape babies, and also he implied that Zoran Mamdani, because he's Muslim, is going to cause the next 9/11. Not a great person at all. And yet when he died, mainstream media did the same exact thing they're trying to do to Lindsey Graham. They tried to whitewash him. Gavin Newsom, Donald Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu all said that he was a great person, a great political man, a patriot, a great patriot of America. He stood for his values, he was a great debater, yada yada yada. All this dumb stuff. And also even trying to make monuments and give him street names. But thankfully, now in the age of social media, people called that BS out, and that led to everyone clowning on him. He got fucked. And that led to the great Kirkification era of memes, which I personally enjoy. And also everyone's favorite song, "We are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame." Even though it's AI, I have to say, I'll let it slide. But anyways, off that tangent, back to the main subject. The reason why the system does this is to protect itself. It doesn't work now because of the age of social media, now that mainstream media is now distrusted. But basically, what would have happened if there wasn't any backlash, history would have, the world would have gone on, new people would have been born, people that didn't know Charlie Kirk, and all they would see is the mainstream media and government say that he was a great person. They wouldn't know all the horrors that they committed, the truth. And this is why many of us were taught that Ronald Reagan was the greatest president on earth, and then figured out he's a monster. Same thing with Churchill. Basically, he protected England against Hitler, but then figured out that he caused the famine of, I believe, 20 million Bengali people. He called them animals and had more respect to Nazi soldiers than Bengali people. He was a disgusting man. And yeah, the whitewashing is to basically keep the narrative that they keep trying to say, and say that this current day now, there is no racism, there is no misogyny, there's no bad things happening. We are in a great place. It is basically the system's attempt to create the Mandela effect and gaslight people into thinking there are no problems at all. So that way, they create the same reaction, like I said in the beginning, of people viewing people that mock Lindsey Graham's death as bad. Same thing with people that are advocating for women's rights, LGBTQ, and so on. They see them in a negative light, saying like, wait guys, the world is perfect. The system tells me so. So why are you guys saying all this? It doesn't make any sense. I don't like you anymore. You're being negative for no reason. And that is something we have to deal with in the 2010s in Gamergate, that whole narrative. But that's a topic for a different video. For me, I believe in moral consistency, and I'm against toxic positivity. I'm about love. I love when people come together to create happiness, like the World Cup. At first I thought it was going to be breads and circuses to distract us from Palestine, Iran, all that stuff, but it really showed how much love people have for each other and how much common people from all over the world have. And I love that so much. Yes, yeah, the World Cup may have its problems, and it does, but it showed how much love and positivity and happiness that can be created in a world that is going through so much change and hurt right now. But, like the quote says, I don't think it's a quote, but it's something that many people are too privileged or scared to do. A lot of times you have to fight for love. I believe in reaping what you sow. If you are a person like Lindsey Graham, like Charlie Kirk, that are full of hate, you make a career full of hate, and you don't change up until your death, you don't deserve to be seen in a positive light, because that would be enabling hatred, to be saying there are no consequences. And I don't believe in that. That is not right. That is lying. That is not the truth. They chose this path. They chose this path. They chose this path. Charlie Kirk, Lindsey Graham, many other people. They chose this path to create hatred, division, and to, basically cause the death and suffering of countless of people. No one forced them to do this. This was their own free will. And I believe in karma. And many a times in this world, unfortunately, we have to give out that karma. And you don't gotta make your life about trash talking these people, but you should never spread the lie that the legacy media and other people tried to make of these people, to try to whitewash them, make them seem like they were great, honorable people. No, be 10 toes down and say the truth. The truth is neutral. And just because the truth may be negative at times doesn't invalidate it. In fact, stating the opposite, that trying to lie just for the sake of positivity, that is bad. Like if someone said Benjamin Netanyahu after he dies, he was a great person, he fought for Jewish rights and all that, just because it's a positive light, or the way that it's said is trying to be positive, that doesn't make it right at all. He's a genocidal monster that honestly, and what many people have come to learn and are basically in unison in, the world would be better without him. He has caused too many deaths, too much suffering, and he has lost his right to empathy and compassion. You have to work to get to that state of being ostracized and excommunicated from love and humanity. You don't get there naturally. But he worked for it. He has spent his entire life for this. And so, like the quote says, you reap what you sow. Now, that is the end of the video. Yay, you made it through. If you made it through, congratulations. You have a great attention span. The equipment I have used to make this video is the Hollyland Lark 1 microphones. One right here for my main voice, one for down here for my sternum for EQ. My iPhone is the camera. I have a Jollycan M30 for my tripod. And if you guys like the drip that I have, this thing right here, I'll tell you where to get one. Goodwill. I love thrifting. And this was $10. You don't find a blazer anywhere else for $10. What? Yeah, someone else's unwanted item becomes your gold. That's why I love thrifting. But anyways, if you want to hear other topics or want me to cover other topics, list them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Free Palestine forever and always. The revolution starts in the mind.